What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Ultra, who is going to be on Noble Knight versus F3DE 391, who is going to be on Geargia hands. I'm probably just going to call them F3 for this video, or some version of something in this name, because I have no idea how to pronounce that. But anyways, hopefully this will be a good match, but the only way to know is to get into it, so let's get straight into it. Here, it looks like F3 is going to win the rock, paper, scissors and get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Excalibur, Boars, Brothers, Valor, and Upstart, and on the other side, we see Ice Hand, Geargia Gear, Dark Hole, Geargia Armor, and Wiretap. So honestly, a pretty solid hand here for them, who will also get a draw for turn, getting a copy of MST, which is, kind of decent against Noble Knight, especially given the only Noble Arms card we see in hand at the moment is this Caliburn, and this is one of the ones that doesn't re-equip, so that could be a problem for Ultra here. Anyways, here we're going to see F3 set the armor and set 3 back row over to Ultra, who gets a copy of Duality. And here they're going to start by normal summoning Boars, equipping the Excalibur, and F3 says it's good. So here Boars can use its effect, revealing Guinevere, Destiny, and Destiny, and getting a copy of Destiny to hand, and the other 2 will go to graveyard. After that, Upstart Goblin is activated to add and draws into a copy of Breakthrough Skill. And after that, we will see the Duality revealing Dristan, I believe that was Arfaduder, and Lady of the Lake. Oh, very interesting. I feel like we never really see that card in Noble Knight, so kind of cool to see that, which means they're probably on the Synchro. After that, they're going to use the Guinevere effect in graveyard to equip to the copy of Boars. It'll give it a little bit of an attack bonus, and after that, they will equip the copy of Destiny, and then go to battle phase and try to run over this armor. But it looks like on attack declaration, F3 is going to activate that MST on the Guinevere to make so that the Boars no longer has that attack boost, so it won't be able to get over the armor, and here the armor will be able to add a copy of Accelerator, so very nicely played from F3 there. And then in main phase 2, Ultra is going to set this copy of Breakthrough Skill and go to end phase, but here F3 is activating that copy of Geargia Gear, summoning a copy of MK2 and Geargiano, and then for turn they'll draw a copy of Max C, and they're going to take a second to think here, and they're going to use armor to flip itself face down. Ultra says it's good, flipping up the armor and attempting to use the effect, which they say is also good. So now F3 gets another Accelerator here and gets to overlay into a copy of Gear Gigant, which they're going to use the effect. Keep in mind that these Geargianos are level 4 because of Geargia Gear. F3 just has all the extenders here too. Here it looks like Valor is going to be activated on the Gear Gigant though, and after that F3 is going to summon that first copy of Accelerator. Ultra knows they have 2, so after that it looks like they are going to go and overlay into another Gear Gigant X. They are using the armor here because it did have to flip itself face down and then face up, so it can't flip itself face down again. So going for that and keeping Accelerator just in case, because this is going to be a card that has some form of recursion here, but going for that Gear Gigant, using the effect detaching the Accelerator. Breakthrough Skill is going to be chained to that, but F3 does have that Wiretap, so that is going to get shuffled back, which is very good to make sure that card isn't in graveyard as well. And after that, it looks like they are resolving the copy of Gear Gigant and just adding back a copy of Accelerator. So here, if they want, they can summon the Accelerator, but instead they're just going to normal summon the Ice Hand and be able to attack into this Boars, and they say it's good. And here the Ice Hand is going to pop probably the Excalibur in here, I want to say. Oh no, going after the Destiny. This can only re-equip once, so getting rid of that means they have kind of free range to go after stuff after. Going for the copy of Firehand, and then here the Destiny is going to equip to the Boars again. The Gear Gigant is going to attack over the Boars. Oh, so they pop this, it re-equips, and then they're using the protection here on one of the Gear Gigants to make so it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects once, and then the other copy of Gear Gigant is going to run over the boars here, so everything will get sent, and then the Fire Hand can attack in here. Going to main phase 2, will we see the Accelerator? No, so they chose to actually hold this on board and not extend too much in there, which, I mean, kind of makes sense if they're on the Noble Knight deck. I mean, I guess depending, they could have gone for maybe like a Rhapsody and Berserk if they really want to try to out some stuff in Grave. Like Excalibur does have a rank up effect in Grave, and the Guinevere can re-equip itself from Grave, so maybe getting rid of those could have potentially been good, but at the same time, it's really hard to say, especially given they have other stuff, and if they do have access to one of the rank 4 Noble Knight guys, he just re-equips from the Grave on his own, so that can be a tough position to go in. Anyways, Ultra here got a copy of Upstart Goblin, and let's see what they choose to do. They are going to activate Upstart Goblin and get a copy of Boars. So this is kind of crazy because Brothers can just special those 2 from hand. So let's see. They are going to summon Brothers, which allows them to summon up to 2 Noble Knights from deck. Or not from deck, from hand. My apologies. And here Max C's chained to that. F3 gets a copy of Warning. And after that, the Guinevere is going to equip to Boars. And they're going to get a little bit of an attack bonus. They think they misclicked here on the Dristin. This only gets the effect when it is equipped with a Noble Arms card, and instead here they're using Boars, revealing Gallatin, Caliburn, and Excalibur, and they are going to get the copy of Excalibur. After that, it looks like, nope, okay, so they did accidentally misclick on the Dristin, and F3 might not be too aware of the deck if they were going to let that actually go through, but just correcting that little thing. After that, Brothers is going to shuffle back 3 to draw 1, so putting back Boars, Destiny, and Gallatin, and getting a copy of Soul Charge. Okay, pretty good there for them. After that, equipping Excalibur to the Dristin, so now it will get a pop. Popping the copy of Gear Gigant. Gear Gigant will float into an MK2, and then here, Ultra will go to battle phase and attack into the Gear Gigant, and the Guinevere is going to use its effect to just auto-destroy the copy of Gear Gigant. Though, let me see real quickly. Oh, this was on the Boars. So Boars is a dark, and the dark effect for Guinevere is if the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster at the start of the damage step, you can destroy that monster, then destroy this card. So destroying that, and here Gear Gigant, oh, it does miss timing because the Guinevere destroys and then sends itself. So the last thing to happen is it sending itself, not the destruction. So that misses timing. That's actually an interesting ruling that I haven't really seen come up too much. So kind of interesting there. But anyways, continuing on with the battle, running over the MK2 and then running over the Accelerator, which can float into a copy of MK2, or not float, but they will get to add that back. Main phase 2 going for that copy of Artorigus that I mentioned, and here F3 draws into a copy of DD Crow, so that can be pretty good depending on when they choose to use that. Here the Artorigus will get to equip up to 3 of those Noble Arms, equipping the Caliburn and Destiny, and it looks like DD Crow is going to be activated to get rid of the Destiny, so just the Caliburn, and it looks like the Guinevere is going to be the other one, using the Caliburn to gain 500 life, using the Excalibur, which was sent the turn prior, to be able to rank this Artorigus up. So pretty neat play there, and going for this Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorigus. And so here the Noble Arms cards will all fall off, but then the Sacred Noble Knight will be able to re-equip up to 3, I believe it is, or yeah, target up to 3 Noble Arms equipped spells with different names in your graveyard and equip them to this card. So being able to do that here, and I believe F3 gets a draw. Did they draw the Dark Hole for this? Or did they miss it? I might have looked past that with everything going on, but hopefully they did draw their card from the summon of this. And anyways, here it looks like the Caliburn and Queen are going to be equipped, and then using the Caliburn again, because this is a soft once per turn. The only hard once per turn on this card is the equip. But anyways, or it's re-equip. After that, the Sacred Noble Knight is going to use its effect that says, once per turn, detach a material from this card, then target one other monster on the field, destroy that target. So here, using the effect and popping the Fire Hand is going to try to pop the copy of Sacred Noble Knight, but the Guinevere is going to protect from that. I guess if they really wanted to float this in, if they weren't super worried about this, they could have potentially gone after the Dristin. Or wait, is the Dristin's equipped with the Caliburn, so they actually can't target it. Oh, so I guess they were kind of forced into this, and then this protects, so this won't be able to float. So that's kind of cool there. Over to F3, who gets a breakthrough skill, and they still aren't out of it. They have, Dark Hole plus some other stuff, and they are going to just use that Dark Hole here. And here, the Sacred Noble Knight will be able to float into a copy of Brothers here. And let's see what happens. Here, MK2 is going to be summoned, and they are going to special summon the Armor from Grave, special summon the Accelerator, and then go for a copy of Black Ship of Corn, which will be able to clear this copy of Brothers. And after that, going to battle phase and attacking in with both, and they do have Warning and Breakthrough skills, so they are kind of set here. Here, Ultra gets a copy of Madolche, and let's see what they choose to do here. Madolche is going to be summoned, and they use Warning on the Madolche, which I feel is a good position to be in, but at the same time, I mean, they couldn't use Breakthrough skill on the Madolche because well, depending on which equip they would have, they could have, if they really wanted to, potentially gone for the Madolche, and then once they equip to it, then use the Breakthrough skill to negate it, because this is a normal monster until it's equipped. The only way they'd get punished by that is if they equipped exactly Caliburn, because then it can't be targeted, so there's no point in which that works. But at the same time, if anything, they could have waited to see if they even had an equip, and then after that, just warning the effect of this if need be. But here, what could end up happening is this Soul Charge could put in a decent amount of work here. They are going to go for the Soul Charge, bringing back the Dristin Brothers and the Sacred Noble Knight. Very interesting to see them actually go for that, and I'm pretty sure this is considered like a proper Xyz summon and stuff. Yeah, it's treated as an Xyz summon, so they can go for that here. Here, going for the Guinevere to equip the Dristin. Dristin's effect will trigger to pop the copy of Black Ship. The Breakthrough will be chained to that, though. Then Brothers can shuffle back 3, and it looks like Ultra will get a draw here, getting a Rhoda, which is pretty solid. They can activate it and get a Madolche as follow-up. After that, overlaying into that King Artorigus, and here the Guinevere will fall off. What did they use for this? They used the Dristin and the Brothers, so 2 of the ones that won't gain levels or anything when equipped. And here they'll be able to equip Caliburn, the Queen, and Excalibur, gaining 500 life off the Caliburn. And going to main phase 2, passing over to F3, who gets a copy of the Arsenal. So pretty good summon Arsenal, use the effect, go for a copy of Armor, and use Armor effect to flip itself face down, switch everything to defense. Over to Ultra, who gets a copy of Arfaduder, great draw. They're going to use Caliburn to gain some life, and let's see what they choose to do here. Summon Madolche, equip Arfaduder, use the effect, pop the set Armor, go to battle phase, and just clean up this board a bit and do some damage. There's not really anything that F3 can draw into to get out of this situation. Maybe like a Soul Charge would be good, but even that, actually Soul Charge would be pretty good here. Here, drawing a copy of Crow, so definitely not a Soul Charge there. So this time F3 will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Gallatin, Brothers, Flying Sea, Breakthrough skill, and Valor. So Flying Sea crazy against the Geargia deck in most cases. And on the other side, we see Geargiano, Armor, Wiretap, MST, and Geargia Gear. So also, again, a pretty solid hand, and they will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Arsenal. So here, F3 will start out by setting Armor and setting 2, holding the copy of MST, which again is just an interesting play, given MST can honestly do a lot against the Noble Knight deck, depending on what the hand is. But here, going to Ultra, who drew, I believe they also got a copy of MST, setting a copy of Brothers and setting 2 back row. Here in the end phase, F3 is going to activate the Geargia Gear, summoning MK2 and MK2, and here Flying Sea is going to be activated to that, so now F3 will not be able to Xyz summon here, and here they'll draw for turn, getting a copy of Accelerator that unfortunately is not great, and especially given this Brothers has 2400 defense, that is going to be a wall for the time being, and here F3 is going to flip up this copy of Armor, and Breakthrough skill is going to be activated on that, so shutting off any searches. Here, MST is activated on the set MST, which is going to be chained to pop the copy of Wiretap. After that, F3 is going to summon this copy of Arsenal, which is gaining 200 for each, so 2, 4, 6, 800. So putting this, at 2300, which still surprisingly is not enough to out this copy of Brothers, which is pretty crazy here, switching everything to attack and attacking into the Brothers, which unfortunately they can't get over, so just passing turn here, Ultra gets a copy of Destiny, which isn't great here. I mean, I guess it kind of is to wall up a little. Oh, but the summon of Veiler, so they are on the synchro, so we are going to get to see the synchro here. Very cool. This card needs a tuner and one or more non-tuner Noble Knight monsters. When it's synchro summoned, you can equip one Noble Arm spell card from your deck to this card. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can add a Noble Knight or Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand, and you can only control one of it. Very cool card. Personally, I like this. I play a very similar build to Ultra here. I play a lot of breakthrough skills. I play the Veilers. I don't play Brothers, but I've been kind of iffy on if I want to play like one of it or so. But anyways, this is a really cool card. So here they are using the effect and equipping the Caliburn, so now it can't be targeted, and equipping the copy of Destiny, so now it once per turn can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, though when it re-equips it will again be able to have that one effect. And then swinging over this copy of Armor here, and after that, using the effect and adding a copy of Madolche. So now they are set. If this does get outed, they have Madolche plus a re-equipable. And over to F3, who gets a copy of DD Crow. Now they can crash in that copy of Flying Sea to out it. And here the copy of Lancelin is going to be able to trigger to add a Noble Knight or Noble Arms, getting a copy of Gwaine here. And after that, main phase 2 feed is, or F3, it kind of looked like feed for a second, is going to overlay here into, let's see, both of those are still level 4 because they were summoned off of the Geargia gear. Going for a copy of Direwolf, using the effect to pop the Caliburn. And after that, special summoning a copy of Accelerator, normal summoning the Geargiano, using the Arsenal to summon a copy of Armor, and then using the effect to flip it face down, using the Geargiano to summon the Arsenal back, overlaying into a copy of 101, and using that to take the Lancelin, so outing it without needing to get through the Destiny here. But now the board is cleared. Ultra gets a copy of Excalibur, and so now they can go through the Madolche plays, and equipping the Gallatin, summoning the Boars. The equip falls off, the Gallatin will re-equip to the Boars here. And it looks like they're letting it through, so not using the Crow or anything. I guess they're afraid of maybe a rank 4 there, but at the same time, it's an interesting situation to be in, honestly. It's almost worth doing that and getting rid of it, because I feel like in a lot of cases, well, you'd have to deal with a rank 4 anyways. So I guess there really isn't a great point to do this, honestly. Interesting. So here, using the Boars, revealing Guinevere, Caliburn, and Arfaduder. And after that, getting the Guinevere, the other two get sent to graveyard. Special summoning the copy of Gwaine, because this is a normal monster at the moment, and it is light while it's not equipped. So this says if you control a light normal monster, you can special summon it from your hand in face-up defense. And after that, overlaying into the level 4, or the rank 4 anyways, so I guess it didn't really matter. And here, let's see, the Crow is going to banish the copy of Destiny. The other two will get equipped. Caliburn is going to gain 500 life. Arfaduder is going to pop the set. And this is getting a bit out of control. Here, the Excalibur is going to be activated. This wasn't sent this turn, right? I kind of lost track with, all the equips going in and out. But this can't be activated the turn it's sent, so hopefully that wasn't this turn. I don't believe it was. I think they started the turn with the Madolche, with the Gallatin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this wasn't sent this turn, unless this was one of the 3 that got, no, this was one, and these 2 got sent. So I'm pretty sure that's correct here. Ranking up into the Sacred Noble Knight, then re-equipping with those, the Arfaduder and Caliburn, gaining 500 life. Here, the breakthrough skill is activated, negating the 101, and then the Sacred Noble Knight can pop it, going to battle phase, attacking in, and we're in that situation where not many top decks are going to get out of this, equipping the Guinevere via its own effect. I believe that was to the Boars, and then activating the copy of Caliburn. And from here, it looks like they draw into a copy of Arsenal, and that is going to be it. So Ultra takes that pretty convincingly. Really cool to see the synchro again, and just in general, a pretty cool match in my opinion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays. Whether you won or lost, if you thought the deck you or your opponent was playing was pretty cool, feel free to send that in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.